So y'all really like the romance and relationship system, huh? Okay, I see you. I definitely didn't say this in the video I made a couple of days ago, so I'm just gonna talk about this a little more so I could have my opinion out there as well. But before I do that though, shoutouts to everybody who let me know why they like the romance and relationship system. In the comments on the video I made a couple of days ago, I actually saw a lot of comments telling me why they like it, and just a lot of opinions about why they like the system and it's a positive addition to the game. I'm not gonna sit here and argue that it's a positive addition to the game and you shouldn't like this romance and relationship system at all. As a matter of fact, shout out to everybody who left a comment talking about the lore you get with the Kim messaging system, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't really think about that, and I do actually appreciate the lore that I learned from the Kim instant messaging system. I still do not give a single shit about dating, but if you care about dating the NPCs in the game, that's you. There's nothing wrong with that. Do you at the end of the day, and do you unapologetically. I'm gonna unapologetically say it every time that I'm not making my character date another character, but I actually saw a comment that left a really good point about how bringing your characters in a mission with you and modding them would be really cool. And again, although I'm not going to be having my drifter date one of the Hex Syndicate members, for those who are, I still think that's actually a really good idea. And I feel the need to say this as well, I don't hate the system at all. If you enjoy this system, it's not like I got a problem with you because you enjoy the system or any weird thing like that. This is quite literally just not my cup of tea at all. Mainly the dating and kissing shit with the actual Hex Syndicate members. I'm never going to push it to that level for me personally, but if you do that, once again, nothing wrong with that. That's you. In terms of actually building a connection with the characters, I personally think they could have done it just like the Zeramin. I really like that style where you level up the standing, you get a cutscene where the individual members are talking, and you learn a lot of lore. But just because they don't copy paste that type of interaction doesn't mean that a new interaction like this is really bad. And I definitely didn't say that and just kind of bashed on the fact that there's dating in Warframe with NPCs because, again, in my personal opinion, I don't give a single shit about that and will never touch that shit with a 10-foot pole. But at the end of the day, those who date the NPCs in the Hex Syndicate, those players who go on the Kim messaging system every day and talk to the NPCs, there's nothing wrong with that either. Again, it's just not my cup of tea at all, but if it's your cup of tea, then enjoy your cup of tea, you know what I mean? I don't hate the system or anybody else who enjoys the system, and I do get the fact that DE did save a lot of money with this Kim messaging system. Once again, in my personal opinion, I just simply don't care about the dating feature and actually learning about the lore through a messaging system. I'd rather talk to the actual characters face to face and then learn the lore like that, but just because they didn't do that this time around doesn't mean 1999 was a bad update or the Hex quest was a bad quest or anything like that. No, it was actually a phenomenal quest. And the update so far has been awesome, and the romance and relationship system and the dating part does not change the fact that the update is really cool. Me personally, as a Warframe player that enjoys boss fights and just actually fighting in the game, of course I'm gonna be a little upset at the news that the Technosite Coda got delayed after they hyped it up that much, but delays happen in video games. It is what it is. And as upset I am that the new adversaries got delayed, I'm still gonna play the shit when it comes out anyway, you know what I mean? So I really don't care that bad that it got delayed. But me personally, I don't give a damn about dating AI or interacting with AI in a romantic sense at all, or having my characters do that. But once again, if that's your cup of tea and you enjoy that process, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I feel like I should say this as well, I really do enjoy the build craft of Warframe. The amount of builds that are in this game make Warframe so fucking fun in my personal opinion. You don't even need the craziest top tier try hard endgame build to do amazing in a game like this, even on Steel Path. You just have to know what you're doing, know how your Warframe works, know how your weapons work, and build them accordingly to how you want. And players should enjoy the unique type of setups they have with their individual builds, just like I believe any Warframe player should enjoy the lore of the game they're playing. Even if I'm not the biggest fan of how the lore was delivered, that does not mean it was a bad system at all. Regardless, I still think the dating part is fucking pointless, but that's just me at the end of the day. If you like that Sims type of interaction where your character dates another character and you can do all the shit in between, there's literally nothing wrong with that. Once again, I just felt the need to make this follow-up video so a lot of people could understand where I'm coming from as a Warframe player. The most peak fun I have in Warframe besides the actual builds are fighting the bosses in the game, especially when the bosses give you a difficult challenge and you gotta work for them. And the best part about that is I haven't actually beat every boss in Warframe yet. No matter what everybody else is doing in the game, I'm always gonna play the game at my own pace, and I mean, a great example of that is the fact that I didn't fight Profit Taker till last month. And that was one of the best experiences I had in the game in general, in my opinion, just because the boss fight was so fucking cool. Fighting bosses in the game and having a really fun build like an Exodia Contagion Zal, for example, make me really happy when I play the game. And if you personally get really happy whenever you actually use the Kim messaging system, interact with the actual Hex Syndicate members, or even date them, then there's nothing wrong with that, and I hope you keep enjoying it in the way that you do. Again, I do not hate the system. I don't think there's a problem with the fact that it's in the game or anything like that. It's just not my cup of tea. And again, you will never catch me dating one of these NPCs, even as a joke. Like, I'm good. I just don't even feel like progressing that far, but there's nothing wrong with people that do. Considering all the comments I got from cool people who were just letting me know their personal perspectives, I figured I'd go ahead and make a video following this up. So now that I've asked y'all how you feel about the romance and relationship system, y'all really out here dating the NPCs? That was just a joke. At the end of the day, even if you are, it's all good, dude. I'm not gonna do that shit, but go crazy with the dating if you want. That's all you. It does not affect me or my gameplay at all, and I don't despise anybody who sits there and actually interacts and dates these NPC characters. At the end of the day, I'm excited to get the new Technosite Coda bosses in the game, because once again, when we have a new adversary system like that, a new challenge, a new boss fight, that's where a lot of the fun I have with this game comes from. But again, if you have a lot of fun with the Kim messaging system, dating the actual NPC characters, and that unique type of interaction that 1999 brought specifically, there's nothing wrong with that. And don't get it wrong, I love interacting with the characters too. Again, the Zariman, I really did love that type of style where they actually introduced the characters that way. It was really cool in my opinion. This one is just not that cool in my opinion, and that's how it is at the end of the day. Shouldn't make it any less valuable to any other player. This is just my personal opinion. That's pretty much gonna be it for this video. I've rambled on long enough. I didn't actually expect to make this follow-up video, but I'm actually glad I am making it, just because I want my opinion to be clear as well on how I really do feel about this system. It's not that big of a deal at the end of the day. Again, doesn't affect me or my gameplay at all. It's just definitely not my cup of tea at all, because I did just kind of say I don't understand why the system exists, and that has definitely changed in these last few days. I do understand the messaging system now and the actual importance of the lore that you get behind the system, but me personally, I'm still not going to be using the Kim messaging system or interacting with them with the dating and romance and relationship shit. Personally, that's just not me. I will still level up the standing for the Hex Syndicate and, you know, actually get to rank 5, of course, but having my character date another Hex Syndicate member, yeah, I'm good on that. Before this video ends, real quick, just want to say thank you guys so much for all the support on the channel, and even though that video I made a couple of days ago got a lot of dislikes, it's all good. The dislike button's there for a reason, and everybody's got their own opinion at the end of the day. If there's any Warframe content or any other type of content you want to see from me personally, feel free to leave that down in the comments as well. And while I'm at it, feel free to let me know how you guys feel about the boss fights in this game, because while I do have a lot of fun with the bosses in the game, I still feel like they could be a lot better. But I also just personally wish we had more boss fights in the game that were mechanically difficult, and maybe a boss fight that requires a squad, you know what I mean? Or even a boss fight that you can do solo that just genuinely takes a lot of time and setup. Because I get it, not everybody plays with a squad or friends at the end of the day. If you want me to keep it a stack, I relate to those players as well. I quite literally don't play this game with anybody else like that. I have friends who play the game, but every single one of them will tell you they do not hop on the game nearly as much as I do, so most of the time I end up playing solo anyway, and again, there's nothing wrong with that. I enjoy playing solo. If you want me to keep it a stack, I enjoy playing with people as well. There's nothing wrong with either. I feel like I could talk about this type of shit all day, so I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap it up there. Again, shoutouts to everybody who left a really cool comment about their perspective. I didn't understand why a lot of people liked it, but I definitely understand after that video. Let me tell you, you guys were very vocal about that, and hey, I appreciate that. That's gonna be it for me. Keep your head up, stay positive, and with that being said, thanks for watching.